Have you ever heard about the term cord cutting? If you haven't, I'm gonna explain here in a little bit. First of all, what it is so you have an idea and understanding. But I wanted to share something that just happened to me. Like literally, my client just left like 15 minutes ago, and I thought it was so important from like real life example and real life experience, and I wanted to come on here and share it because I feel like a lot of us, especially those who have a specific person or a place that we feel like we want to cut the cord from, it is really important for all of that. So first of all, I want to explain what is cord cutting. Cord cutting is a spiritual and energetic practice where we release or discontinue attachment to certain people, places, events, or situations. Cord cutting, it's more like on an energetic level. And I'll give examples here in a little bit. But first of all, I want to share with you that my client came today and she told me, Hannah, I want to cut the cord with this person that we had like this strange thing happening. And I said, okay, I hear you. How do you feel when you're thinking about this person? Like, what's coming up for you? And she said, I feel sick. Like, I don't feel like it makes me feel all of these different things. And I told her, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this feeling that you have in your body and we're going to work with that feeling. And then we're going to see where it takes us. I don't know where it's going to take us. I don't want to assume that it's going to go to a cord cutting because maybe it's going to go to a totally different place. So put her on this bed right here and we started exploring the feeling that was coming up. So it started with a feeling on like on her left side in the sacral chakra. We explored the color, texture, shape, and it was like red oval. Now red is associated with root chakra, and I'll explain to you why I'm saying it and why it's important for you to understand if you are working with the chakras. We continued to go through it and it brought up some sensations, went into the heart, felt heaviness. We continued to ask questions, those sensations. Where did you come from? Why are you here? What do you want to teach me? And then there was a few sentence completion. So long story short, it was an hour process, but I want to get to the juice of what I'm trying to say here. The understanding was that that was fear, and it was fear of intimacy because of abandonment that she experienced in the past from a lot of people. So if we're looking back at the color, and the reason why I was sharing it is because fear is it's a blockage or demon, or I like to say maybe like a blockage that sits in the root chakra. Okay, so fear of abandonment specifically. Fear of abandonment is associated with the root chakra. And that fear of abandonment went into the sacral chakra, meaning like on the left side of the sacral chakra, that's where the sensation initially came up when she was thinking about that person that she wanted to cut the cord from. And now, if you don't know, the sacral chakra is associated with relationships, intimacy, sexuality. So now you can kind of see how I work with the chakras as a map, because the colors and the texture and where it's at in the body already tells us a lot. Okay, so fear of intimacy, that comes from fear of abandonment, and there was more to the process and the way we went with it and how it unfolded, but this is not the focus on this video. The focus on this video is to share about the idea of cord cutting. So then after this process, we went through it, and then actually everything was she felt lighter. She felt way lighter because we actually created relationships with those things that were coming up in her body, and she was actually asking questions and received the insights and the answers, and was able to sit and be with her inner child with all of the emotions and the sensations that were coming up. We were sitting down after to integrate the session, and I told her a lot of times we think that we need to remove a certain things, like a certain thing from our body, or we need to do a cord cutting, or whatever it may be. And it's especially very common with like a lot of healers, like that they're like removing things or doing cord cutting without really know why it came from the first place. And the way I personally like to work, and what I mentioned to her too, is if something came up, There's a reason why it's here. And you can learn from it. You can actually receive a lot of teachings from this thing that came up. For example, if you have fear, a lot of times we want to remove the fear instead of getting to know the fear, because the fear came here for a reason and it wants to teach us something. The fear literally holds gold inside that is ready for you to learn from if you actually turn that direction and you look at it and you become curious about it and you have a relationship with it and you get to know it, and then bam, you're realizing all of that. There's all of these teachings and growth that's coming from that fear. And we tend to want to remove these things from ourselves just because it's uncomfortable to feel it. And I'm not saying, by the way, I ding ding, I really want to say that here. I'm not saying that this is not efficient in some cases. In some cases, it is very, very, very important practice, like cutting cords or like removing certain things that are just not, it really depends on the situation. But it's very, I could tell you from my experience as with the work that I do, it's very, 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 very rare that I'm removing things from people's body or cord cutting just for no reason. Usually we're sitting with what it has, what it brings, to see what are the teachings. Obviously, for example, I'll give you an example when I did do cord cutting, where I had a client that had a lot of sexual trauma. So in that session, we received the teachings and then we did the cord cutting, because a lot of that sexual abuse, the people that did the sexual abuse, a lot of that energy was literally held in his body. So we had to do the cord cutting and remove it in this case. So this is a case where that was an important thing to do and that was appropriate for the place. But most of the times when we want to do cord cutting or when we want to remove certain things from our body, what if we actually sit with this uncomfortable feeling and we actually try to understand and learn what it's trying to give us? What is the message here? What it's trying to teach me? So in this case, we were sitting down after and I told her, you wanted to start with cord cutting, and then this whole process led you to process the trauma around fear of intimacy and fear of abandonment. And of course, there's a lot more depth here to go to, because it's not like something you can just do, process in 1 hour. It's like there's a lot of layers here. But the first thing that happened in this session is that we became aware of what's actually happening here. We became aware of where does it come from and what it comes to teach me. And then she asked, so you don't think I should do the cord cutting? And I said, that's a great question. The answer for me is to continue to let it unfold. Because a lot of times, and it's something that I've had and something I'm actually really working on currently, is like trying to figure things out, trying to make sense of things. Who knows what I'm talking about? I think a lot of us, in this society, like have this, where we're trying to figure things out, where we try to make sense of things, and we try to make it sense like right now in this moment. And the reality is that let it unfold, let it teach you. It could be that the cord cutting, I mean, I'm doing air quote because it could be also something very different to this, title, that it's already happened in this process. It could be that it already happened. It could be, and that's only one option out of literally infinite options. So I told her, just let it unfold. Let it teach you more. Like, if you're noticing these uncomfortable feelings that are coming up in your life, lean in toward it. Become curious about it. Ask it, what else do you want to teach me? What else do you have for me? And who knows where that's going to lead. A lot of times before we jump into remove things or cord cutting or whatever, and again, sometimes it's necessary, but most of the times it's not necessary. Most of the time, there is something here for you to look at. There's something here for you to learn from. There's something here for you that can take you to a deeper understanding of who you are, a deeper connection with yourself. There's one thing that happens externally that can help you to go deeper. If you feel like there is cord cutting you want to do with someone, or if you want to remove something from your life, if you want to remove something from your body, whatever it may be, the first thing to do is ask it, why are you here? What do you want to teach me? Is there anything I can learn from you? Is there anything you want to show me? Where did you come from? And let's see, is there an image that's coming up? Is there a voice, a sentence, a word? Is there a feeling that's coming up? Is there a memory that's coming up? And then go deeper. Continue to be curious about what's coming up. Oh, I'm noticing, I feel this sensation of tingling sensation on my left shoulder. Okay, I don't know what it, and you can always ask, I'm noticing the tingling sensation. Is there a message here? Is there something you want to tell me? And a lot of times, even you noticing the sensation, that's where it's at. A lot of times you noticing what's coming up, that's the meat and potatoes. There's no a end goal or like an end understanding or meaning. A lot of times, yes, but a lot of times, no. A lot of times you just noticing the vision that you received or the sensations that you received. A lot of times that's all you need to do. That's all that's required. It's just being in the moment and see what is coming up and giving it space, giving it space, giving it space. Be curious about it. Giving it space, be curious about it, develop a relationship with it. Giving it space, be curious about it, develop a relationship with it. So let me know in the comments if you had a situation in your life where you wanted to remove something and then it actually really taught you a lot and it led you to a lot of growth and understandings. Let me know. I'm really curious to know. If you're feeling curious, if you want to go deeper into this work, if you want to do this work together with me, I'm working very closely with the energy centers. As you can see here, the 7 main energy centers, the 7 chakras working as a map, and then we'll incorporate energy healing with somatic guidance. And what we're doing is we're translating any emotional, physical, mental, or energetic matters into the physical body. We're getting to know it, where we're holding it in our bodies. We start to develop a relationship with it, and then we are receiving insights from our own body. And that's what I do in sessions with my clients. So yes, the insights are coming from your own body, not from me telling you what I think it is. It's your own body's telling you what's going on and giving you answers, understandings, insights, teachings, all of that. I do obviously in person here in Austin, Texas, but I also do online. Actually, most of my clients are online, so online is definitely works amazing because energy work works beyond time and space. And you can find the link of my website in the description below. There's application form to fill out. If you're feeling cold, go fill it out. If you feel the nudge, the pull, oh, I want to, I'm curious, I want to get into this, what is she doing? Then go fill it out in my website in the description below, and I'm gonna look at your form, see if there's an energetic match. If there is an energetic match, then I'll contact you and we're gonna schedule our first session. And I would like to say that the first session is going to be by donation, meaning pay what you want. And I don't say this in every video, so for those who seeing this video, for those who got to hear, if it's your first time, I would love to offer you first session by donation, pay what you want. So see if it feels in alignment for you, if it's something you resonate. But of course, before that, we have to see if we have an energetic match, because I don't necessarily work with everybody. It's not for everybody, but if it's for you, if you're feeling the resonance, if this is an energetic match, then it may be something really powerful for you that's going to really impact your life in a very powerful way. So thank you for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.